Good morning. Welcome to a Tadpoll. A day late this week because we were on our way back from New York City yesterday. We'll be talking about that later in the show. We're going to talk about the gala coming up, also about the Phillips County Healthcare Foundation and what that's all about. Maybe the new entrance at the hospital. We'll be discussing that also. Also, we'll have a couple of friends who are with us in New York City talking about that. And then Cammie Snyder might be stopping by to talk about the benefit coming up tomorrow at the fairgrounds and other places. So that's all coming up this morning at Tadpole. I want to apologize. I cannot hear anything. Flying into New York, I did not decompress like everything else did. And my ears have not been decompressed since then, and I am not hearing very well. Yeah? Anyway, so it's going to be a little bit of a struggle this morning. Maybe not from them, but from me. But anyway, we're going to talk first about the Phillips County Healthcare Foundation, and we have with us Tara Overmiller this morning, Teresa McComb, and Tara. What about the foundation? Fill us in on that a little bit. Is it fairly new or something?
It is. It was started in 2014 as an entity to support all of the nonprofit healthcare entities in Phillips County. So the hospital medical clinic, the Logan Manor with Teresa, the Phillips County EMS, hospice, what other ones am I missing? The Wellness Center, High Plains Mental Health, and the Health Department. So it benefits all of those networks of healthcare entities within Phillips County and works to establish grants for them and different things. So from the hospital standpoint, we use them a lot to help us with grant submissions because they are a nonprofit 501c3. They can do that. So we rely on the Healthcare Foundation quite a bit. So Teresa and I are new board members on it, and she represents Logan Manor and I represent the hospital and clinic. And then there's a total of 9 board members on it. So we have our second annual gala coming up, which is one of our big fundraisers for the organization. We do a glow golf tournament every year, and then this dueling pianos gala, which will be coming up.
Teresa, you're going to tell us a little bit about what's going to be happening, when, and
All right, it is on September 22nd at 7 p.m. and it has dueling pianos. So there's 2 people playing pianos, and they kind of
they go back and
battle
forth.
back
Sure,
and
that's
forth,
great.
and
Do you
it's
know
very
who's
entertaining.
it going to be? Can you tell us?
I don't
No
know,
problem, no problem.
but they were great
Are they local
last
people,
year.
though?
No, they come in. I believe they're from Nebraska,
Okay,
actually,
well,
and so
that's
they're
it.
professionals. This is all they do. They travel around the country
Sure.
doing this,
Good.
and there's a lot of audience participation. They will
Oh,
get you
right,
up. You will be dancing. You will be singing. It's a lot of fun.
And they play a wide variety of songs. It's not just one genre. It's kind of a little bit of something for everybody.
I was in Vegas one time and staying in New York facility, and they had some dueling. And we stayed there about 2 hours. I mean, they get the people
It is
involved.
about 2 hours
It's really
show,
fun. They
yeah.
go back and forth with songs. Yeah.
So the first hour will be our social hour, and for your ticket price, it's $50 a ticket. You'll get for the entire evening your drinks. We'll have wine, beer. I think Mike's Hard Lemonade and some other options. And
Iced tea.
Yes, of course. For those of us that aren't drinking.
Oh, yeah.
And then all the food will also be out all night. So widespread. We'll be having that catered in. So there'll be lots of
Wow.
delicious food. So all night for $50, you get a 2-hour show, an hour of kind of social time with your friends and that you bring with you, and then all this food and drink as well.
Question: attire. Is it black tie and everything?
It's not technically black tie, but it is formal.
Dress up formal,
So
okay.
I like it. It's, I think, the only event in Phillipsburg that's actually a dress up event where you can get your cocktail dress out and have your husband put on a dress shirt and take you out on the town for the night and have an excuse to wear those outfits that you have no place to wear
Sure.
in Phillipsburg.
Right.
So
Okay.
it is a dress up event.
Okay, so this second one, last year, okay, now, how do you help these different organizations? You want to explain that a little bit? How does the foundation, like hospice, they come, do you need funding or they need, how do you help them?
So as we're pretty new, we're still limited in the funds that we're able to collect and distribute. But from these fundraiser events that we do, the individuals that are setting up trusts and endowments or donations to this organization, we grant it out to our beneficiaries, those, 8 or so Phillips County Healthcare entities, and different levels of support. It might be they need a piece of equipment. It might be they need letters of support for something they're going after. Like we use them for our grants. because a lot of them we don't qualify for because the
Sure,
hospital's not
right.
a 501c3. So we use the foundation to write the grants for us, submit them on our behalf. The foundation collects the money and then distributes it down to the hospital. So our mammography machinery that the hospital just got, new lab equipment, our OR we did last year, which was about a $500,000 grant that we got.
Sure.
We wouldn't be able to get those without the Healthcare Foundation's support on those.
Of course, I'm on the community foundation that gets the grant, so we
Uh-huh.
just recently.
Yep.
So you wrote, the foundation wrote the grant maybe and submitted to us and then.
Yes,
go about that?
yep. So we work in, the Healthcare Foundation works in correlation with whatever entity's needing that. So like they work with the hospital on identifying those needs and submitting those grants on their behalf.
Okay, so how long, you just went on the
This,
board?
a month?
Right.
Really?
We're both pretty new.
Wow.
Yeah, we are pretty new. Mark Jarvis kind of started it in 2014. He was a hospital board member and saw a need. Most hospitals have their own foundation.
Sure.
But he didn't want to just help the hospital only. He wanted to help all those healthcare entities. So he kind of started it. Dana Gramman is our treasurer. And let's see, I have it in front of me. Hazel Ames is our secretary.
Okay.
And then when Mark Jarvis left town, Rance Ames took over as the chairman of our board. And then Teresa and myself and Pete Rogers for EMS are the new board members.
Wow.
Then you have Barb Losi, Becky Licks, and Deb Kennedy rounding out the board
Wow.
members.
Okay. Now, do you have any other fundraisers or where do you rely on the money from besides the gala?
We do a Glow Golf tournament in the summer. We just had one this
Oh, I
past
saw that. I
summer.
saw
Yeah,
that.
so that was a fun event. And we're looking at different options of things we could do to continue to grow and get our name out there. And then also those that leave endowments or trusts in our name, different donations from beneficiaries
Wow,
and things like
sure.
that.
Okay, so that's a great idea to help to make things better.
Yeah, it helps spread it out. You're not just supporting EMS or just supporting Logan Manor. You're really supporting this whole network of healthcare within Phillips County.
Okay, that's great. We'll come back to that after we talk about something else. Okay, now if I go out to the hospital now,
Yep.
and I go in that lower level, and I go up, I still have to go a ways, don't I?
You do, yes. We moved our main entrance starting the day after Labor Day. We started a new program at the hospital called Senior Life Solutions, which is a mental health program for those 65 and older support group, and it's really grown. We've been so pleased with the number of patients that are taking advantage of this support groups type setting as they're transitioning to different stages of life. A lot of times, if they've lost some freedom, independence, if they're transitioning into widowhood, that sort of thing, this is a great program just to kind of help them in those transitions of aging. And so as it's grown, they do these mental health services. They need privacy. They need quietness as they have a support group type
Sure.
setting. So the lower level of the hospital, we're kind of deeming their area. We want to give them that space and that privacy in that area. So the old main entrance in the front middle of the hospital is now really being utilized by this Senior Life Solutions program. So we moved our main entrance to I think it's the west side. I always say it's the wrong side. Maybe it's the east side. The east side. I always say the wrong one. Someday I'll learn my directions. I have to do the never eat soggy waffles. But it's where the old long-term care was. That big bay of windows by the ER entrance is now the main entrance. And the nice thing about that is we were able to relocate all of our registration there. So if you're coming in for labs, radiology, to see a patient that's staying in the hospital, whatever you're coming in for, outpatient services, everything's at one place now. There isn't one registration over here for labs and another registration over here for outpatient services. Everybody's in one place. So that will be, or is, the new main entrance. And we added some parking stalls right outside that door. That's kind of a drop-off, short-term parking zone. So if you are there, you're not feeling well, or you have some mobility issues, or the weather's bad, you can now park right by that front door. And you don't have to worry about that slope of the driveway if you're wheelchair bound or having some difficulty. So it's been a great change. We're still trying to educate the community on that because we all have our habits of what door we
Sure,
use.
yeah.
I grew up always going in the ER door, so that was a habit for me to break. But Now having everything centralized in one place, I think will be a good benefit.
And you know, it's where the out care people used to go.
Yes,
right? Now it's
outpatient. Yep, so
patients.
that is still there. You will still use the ER entrance for emergency room visits or access care, urgent care, walk-in clinic is still through those ER doors.
You have a good question because the ER entrance. Can anyone? Should you have a reason, or can you use that as convenience?
We're not going
What I'm
to
saying?
not let you in it. Yeah, you can. We just want you to come visit us and use us. So you can come in any door, and we'll service you and help you. It's we don't want you to park in front of it because
Sure,
obviously if the
right,
ambulance
right,
comes or any of
Sure.
that. But if you are just needing to get into the hospital and need assistance, use any door and we'll get you where you need to go. But just don't block the ER door.
Sure,
Is
right.
kind of the only main thing.
So I don't get to ride the elevator anymore, right?
Yeah, you get to
Unless you go
bypass.
downstairs.
Yep, you get to bypass the elevator. If you've come to the hospital for conferences, community education, the board meetings, those will all be in where the old registration area is. That's going to be our conference
That's where
room
the board
now.
meetings are going to be held now.
Yes,
right,
so
that's
they'll
what
be
I
in the
understand.
old registration part, right in the middle of the second floor of the hospital.
Okay, and it's going to be more convenient. I have to go out once a month, for the lab work, and so that's
Yep.
great. And, okay, let's go back a little bit to for the 65 and over. Let's talk. Can we talk about that just a little? Can anyone go? I mean, can you? How does that work? Do you meet every month or every week?
Okay,
or-
yeah, so anybody can be referred to the program. You don't need a referral from a physician or any of that. You can self-refer. If you have a friend that you noticed used to be at coffee every week and is kind of not showing up anymore and you think they're
Sure.
starting to regress a little bit and maybe having some depression issues or any of the mental health issues, you can call and the program will reach out to them and they'll do an assessment and see if they're fit for the program. They need to have Medicare and a supplement insurance, and then it's completely free for the patient. But they do need those two things to qualify. And then, depending on the level of need, is how often they would meet. The support group meets 3 times a week, starting out. And then you might titrate out and then go 2 times a week, and then 1 time a week, and then graduate out of it.
That was my. Can you eventually
Yep.
you graduate?
Yes, you
Okay.
eventually graduate out of the program. Then you also get one-on-one counseling services with a therapist that's on site. And then there's a psychiatrist that is through telehealth. That's actually out of Kansas City. That is also available about monthly to meet with the patients and go over things. It also offers support counseling for family members, which is great because when we go through these transitional periods, you have the child going from the child to the caregiver role. You might have siblings having some difference of opinions on how to care for mom and how that works. So
Yeah.
getting the family involved in the counseling can really help too.
Well, I'm eligible.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So
I'm
if
really,
we
I am
start,
really eligible. I am really eligible.
are you saying your
Okay.
brain's eligible? So if we start noticing that you could benefit from some, but
Well,
it's
I
a
have-
great
I have-
diverse group of individuals there for different reasons. And
I have some ambulatory things. They pushed me all around New York in a wheelchair. We put 10 miles the
Oh,
first
wow.
day
Oh.
on the wheelchair,
That's a
Midwest
lot.
Health will probably retread their tires, I think. But okay, so if someone out there is interested, they think, well, maybe I need this. What do they do? Just contact the hospital.
just contact the hospital and they'll get you down to the
They'll
program.
get the
Mhm.
assessment and all
Yeah,
that.
and they'll
Okay.
come out and visit you at your house and see how things are going.
Wow, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
I think
It's a great program. We thought we'd take 7 months or so to get to capacity and really get our patients involved. And within the first, I think, 2 months, we were all the way full, and the program has a waiting list. But people are graduating out, so we can work those people in really quickly. Because if you're in that state where you're needing some extra support, you don't want to have to
Sure,
be
right.
waiting for very long. So they do a great job of working individuals in.
I attended a couple of the rehab classes they had down there for the
Yes.
older people. That really helped.
Yep, so downstairs as well, we will still be doing our stepping on classes through rehab, our car
Stepping on,
fit,
that's what-
those
yeah, right.
things.
That's
So
good.
really that first floor is really gonna start being used for more of the geriatric population and those type of events or those that are just needing some extra support, whether it be mobility support or mental health support or any of that.
it's interesting when you get in the elevator, you see there wasn't, at one time they planned another level, a third
They
level.
did, yeah. So the original plan, I learned that too. There's a button that doesn't work on the elevator,
right.
and the plan was to put a third floor. Due to budgets, they decided to just build the first two, and then they were going to do the third stage of the hospital later on. And obviously, we never got to that third stage in the 50s, but that was the plan
So
way
if you
back
forget,
when.
go in here, you have to go up, there, down, and
Over.
around to go. So just go the other way.
Just go through
All right.
that east entrance
Sure, okay.
by the big windows. But if you go in the wrong one, it's really not that far. Yeah, you go up the elevator and then walk around, and there'll be lots of individuals in the hospital that will help you get where you need to go.
There's- I tell you, you go to the hospital out there, and you're looking, someone's there to meet you. Can we help you? And that's
We
really
hope
great.
so. Yeah,
Great.
that's our goal. We want to greet people, make them feel welcome, and give them the service they deserve. If you're using your local hospital and clinic, you should be treated as that community neighbor, friend, family.
Okay, this for the final plug in again this morning for the gala. Teresa, you want to talk?
Yeah, sure. Just if you're not doing anything on the 22nd, come on out and see us. The tickets are $50, but it's well worth it. You get, all the hors d'oeuvres you can eat, all the drinks you can drink, and there'll be iced tea for those who don't want to drink,
And water, I'm sure.
and
Yeah.
water. Yeah.
And
it-
tickets are available at the First National Bank, Mapes and Millers, and American Family Insurance, and then
Ames Law.
Ames Law
Ames Law
Office.
Office.
So, well, very good. So, we'll make your plans to attend this. It's a good program, and have a good evening out to, and take the significant other over. And just
or a group
enjoy.
of friends.
Yeah,
Last
if you
year
can't
I
talk your
went-
husband into it, bring a group of girlfriends out and have a good evening without him.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It really is.
Probably the hardest thing this whole is getting the husband to put the tie on. Is probably
Right.
the biggest challenge.
Well, we won't kick them out if they show up in jeans, probably.
Yeah, yeah. As long as you're
Well,
as
it's
you're
a gala. It
supporting.
should be kind of something special.
We
shouldn't
want
it?
it to.
Right,
We want it to
yeah.
be a
Something
night out on the
special.
town. We want those wives to be treated well and wined and dined and entertained. And I don't know, my husband, I more have to try to get him to sit down and not be.
Yeah.
He's willing and eager to
great.
participate and have fun. So
Looking forward to the saying, no tickets at the door. You want to know ahead of time. Are tickets at the door?
there will be tickets available at the door, but certainly we are going to try to have kind of formal seating
Well, you want to know
and
how
decorations. So
seating and
we
food
like to plan
and all that.
ahead.
You don't want
Yes.
a bunch of
Yes.
food.
Yeah, but we
Yeah.
will accept you whenever you want to come out. So if you see us having a great time and your friend calls you, says, "Hey, you need to be out here," come on out.
Okay, all right, fine. Thank you for coming and good luck on the east entrance there. And I'm
Yes.
looking forward to that. When I was out there last time, I said I won't be in here anymore. And she was, "Nope, you'll be coming in the east way." then."
East door.
Okay,
Yep.
fine.
Exactly.
Thank you for coming
Thanks,
on.
Well,
Dad.
thank you.
Tara and Teresa. All right. Do we have the next group out there? All right. Thanks for coming
you.
in this morning. You're watching the Tadpoll a day late here, and we'll find out why with our next guest, and we'll be back after this.
Your dreams have been our dreams since 1884 when we first opened our doors. This is Lloyd Culbertson for First National Bank and Trust. It's a place filled with friends and neighbors who want nothing more than seeing you happy and better off. First National Bank and Trust in Phillipsburg, Logan, and Long Island, Smith County Bank and Smith Center, Solomon Valley Bank, Beloit. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Your dreams have been our dreams since 1884.
Coombs Incorporated in Phillipsburg, offering local and long-distance hauling, complete shop service, including an automatic aluminum polisher to restore and refurbish those aluminum truck rims to a mirror finish, and 24-hour towing service. Now hiring over-the-road drivers traveling 48 states. Excellent benefit and pay package. See Coombs Incorporated on Facebook. Coombs Incorporated. You call, we haul.
Back here on the Tadpole, again, a Friday instead of a Thursday this week because we weren't here yesterday because of these two young ladies and two other young ladies who accompanied me to New York City. That's why we wanted them here. We have Jane with us this morning, also Deb, and of course Susan.
Yes.
So I don't know where to start. We can talk about some of the things. How did you like? Was your first trip to New York?
No, I went in 2005 with the high school.
Okay. All right.
But this one was so much more informative, more history, more little side notes.
Yep. We had a great
and-
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Jane, I know you were there back
Yes.
twice.
Yes, yes. So this was my third trip, and I also went with Mrs. Dennis when she took and you, when they took students. And oh, it's so delightful. An adventure every day. An adventure every day with Tad. What we would do the night before is Tad would suggest our itinerary, and then we would decide. He said, "Now, what do you want to do?" So we would select what we wanted to do, and then he made all the plans on how to get around. And this guy is a wizard on the subway. He'd make the subway plans. Okay, we're going to take the Q or the R or whatever. Okay, we got it. So off we go to the subway. And then when we got to the subway, they'd say, "Oh, by the way, the Q is closed today, so you have to make alternate plans." And we're let's go. And Tad goes, "Let's get the map out." And he gets the map out. Okay, now we're going to take R. And it was wonderful. So thanks for being a master at Subway.
It was a great time.
Oh, it was wonderful.
I might mention that I was not ambulatory. I was wheelchair bound, and everyone took care of me there. First day, 10 miles. Deb, was that what we did?
Yeah. It was close to 10 miles.
Yeah,
But we covered a whole lot on Friday. Just thinking back, oh my gosh, we did all of that.
Yes,
So what did you do on Friday?
We went to Central Park, which was that was one of my favorites. Riding the rickshaw, and the drivers telling us the information about Central Park, the different areas where the movies were made, Strawberry Fields,
Yeah.
where John Lennon lived. It was fantastic, I thought, and there's so much more to Central Park, but
Yeah. You have to
I
go
really
back.
loved that.
Rent a bicycle, and that's the way to do it.
I don't know about that.
we thought that rickshaw was really neat too,
Yeah.
because we just sat and looked around, and it was awesome. Something else we did that day, we did the Hudson
Bay Cruise.
Hudson River.
Yeah, the Hudson River cruise, which was great. And it's kind of interesting because that was the day we put in 12 hours, or 10 miles, and that was the only day we had to use our umbrellas.
Yeah.
And anyway, the Hudson cruise was wonderful.
Beautiful weather.
Wonderful.
It was much better in January, and I was there. It was cold, but this is perfect. And the first night we got there, we just kind of did around the Brooklyn, and we didn't stay in a hotel in Manhattan. We stayed in Brooklyn in a townhouse. And did you enjoy living kind of like home, wasn't it?
It was very homey. There were like 5 to 6 bedrooms, so we were all kind of on our own. Yet it was really big, and we actually had some guests come. Some of my relatives showed up Friday evening, 3 more, and so we could all sit around and just visit. And there was a room, and like Tad said, the Brooklyn experience was wonderful. The neighborhood experience, yeah, beautiful home. So we thank Tad's granddaughters for finding that for him in January, because we latched right on to that.
And we spent more time this time than we did in January visiting. You know, New York has there must be 1 million villages inside the city where they have their plumbing, and they have their lawyer, and they have their eating places. Of course, they have the bars, and it's little neighborhoods all over the place. And this was a neat one, I thought, right next to Prospect Park, where you could. So, and the nice thing about where we stayed, the subway was right there, so we could get to the subway. Right? So, okay, so we took the tour. We also had visited an Irish pub that day. I think.
Oh yes, this is still the first day.
And
We went to St. Patrick's Cathedral.
Yeah. Right, St. Patrick's and Rockefeller Center.
Was
Yeah.
that the same night as the Trump Tower?
That was the same night as the Trump Tower, and the police were so friendly, so helpful, and there was a huge presence of police there. And so there were police at the cathedral, and so we asked, can we go by Trump Tower? We didn't know if that street would be blocked off due to President Trump or whatever. And they go, oh, not only go by, go in. So we did. But what was surprising when we got down there, something that I never remember seeing on the trips with Mrs. Dennis, was there were soldiers,
Sure.
military men in the front with big
I mean,
automatic
they
weapons.
didn't have little Pea
And
shooters.
it's like,
They had
okay,
AK-15s.
Tad, behave yourself
Yeah,
here.
they mean business. At the airport, they were that way. They
Mm-hmm.
they mean business. But you mentioned the policemen. You know, one night there was a lot of presents. One morning there was a lot of I think it was
Everywhere.
Sunday.
Before Labor Day.
Yeah, for Labor Day. That's Labor Day. And there was a lot of I mean, there were policemen everywhere, and stop and ask them. Very friendly. Great accent. I love the New York
Yes,
accent.
yes.
And they said, well, there's a parade a couple of blocks over, and they're there for traffic control and everything. But everyone was friendly.
They were so helpful, and we must have had once in a while a blank look on our face. You know, Tad never had the blank look, but we were blank. And they go, "May we help you? Are
Yeah.
you lost?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and this is a good time to talk about. You hear so much about New York people, and we didn't have one bad experience. Part of it, I'm sure, because I was in a wheelchair.
Yes.
But they were just on the subway. You know, they'd come by. They were looking around. And yeah, can we take this? Can we take the uptown to such as? Yeah, you go here. Where are the elevators? And it was.
And sometimes there were no elevators on the subway when we had to change the levels, and people would offer to take Tad's wheelchair up or down. And so what we decided was that it's real important to have someone in the wheelchair.
Yeah,
So
it's
we
helpful.
really appreciated
Move to the
Tad.
front of the line.
We appreciate Tad being willing to be
Yeah.
in the wheelchair. 'Cause it really helped us. One day, part of a day, he took a little rest, so it was just us girls downtown. It's like, oh boy, it didn't go near as smooth without Tad.
Yeah, GPS does not work well in New York City.
Yeah, and when you get on the train, they would put me on the subway, the train, and somebody get up right away immediately, and they were young.
Yes.
There were young kids who got up to give me a seat.
Immediately. That was so impressive.
Yeah, it
So
really was. I
impressive.
mean, it was just a wonderful experience. And okay, so what? So the first day, what did you do that night? The first night, well, the second night there.
Okay, the second
well,
night.
we went
Well,
to
we went to Beautiful in the afternoon.
that was Saturday. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and of course, Beautiful's a Carole King story, and that was awesome. And all the music, if you're of our young age, you'd
Carole
really
King.
enjoy that. Enjoy that very, very much. And what we noticed about that is that theater is a newer theater, and so the seats are a little bit more comfortable because there's more room, and a great handicap area,
Handicap area.
accessible,
Sure.
everything. So that was
Yeah.
a great experience.
But that was the day you didn't join
Yeah,
us, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But we gave your ticket to
Frank,
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 who was a friend of Jane's brother-in-law.
Scott, yeah.
And that brought on a whole total experience.
Yeah, well, and back to Times Square. Did you like Times Square? Did you like walking through? We walked through there quite a few times.
we
Yeah.
did. We got the Times Square experience frequently, and my goodness, was it busy on Saturday since it was the holiday too. We think maybe it was busier than usual. It was shoulder to shoulder that night.
Yeah.
So we thought,
But what did we do that night?
we looked for the cafe
Oh.
Stardust.
Yeah,
Stardust
Stardust
Cafe.
Diner.
Yeah.
Stardust Diner. That was it.
And then that's where we knew that our GPS does not work.
Yes, so we
It was
went up
going
and down
crazy.
quite a few. And anyway, when we found the diner, the line was way beyond a block. It was way out. So we found something else to do and went to another Irish restaurant pub, and ate outside that evening.
Oh, you want to tell about my encounter with Victoria's Secret's?
Oh,
That was another Friday
Models?
thing.
Yes, Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're going down the street, and of course,
it was on Broadway.
on Broadway,
We'd been into,
and,
it's
Tad's-
come to Square and down.
Tad's in his wheelchair, which is a real attraction when he's in that wheelchair. And anyway, there were models
And
posing,
photographers.
and they're having a photography shoot of some sort. So anyway, when we went by, we just commented, oh, wouldn't it be nice if Tad could have his picture taken with these models? And somebody heard us, and the gentleman said, they will love to do it. And he said his job is to take pictures of these models. He says, I follow models everywhere, have a really tough job. But they said, sure, they will do that. So sure enough, we just wheeled Tad over there. Before we know it, all the women are around him, making over him. So we're taking pictures. We got some fun pictures. But we told him they were the B team and that
Yeah.
we were his A team.
Yeah.
And the C team in Times Square was the C team.
It
I
was
tell you
the
that-
C team.
that They probably, between them, had enough clothes to put in a jewelry box, maybe?
Perhaps. They were painted. They had quite
Yeah.
a bit of paint, but that's about it. And that was the C team.
Yeah,
And the cowboy was there. We got to see the cowboy.
yeah,
He's a guy that's there in shorts, is all the shorts and the cowboy hat. He's been there for
and a
years.
guitar, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's strumming with the C team. He's part of their gang.
Yeah. So,
yeah. Yeah.
Then tell about the diner. The diner. Are we finding
the
anybody in the diner?
Stardust?
Starlight Diner.
What, that was before the play on Monday. Because
For
we
Chicago.
had a Chicago evening showing of that, so we found Stardust, and there was no line, and we got in, and that was a fantastic place, because the waiters and waitresses sing, and they're all trying to be Broadway wannabes.
Yeah.
And they have fantastic
yeah.
voices.
Oh, yeah.
Great program built in with your 50, 60
And they were our
meal.
waiters and our waitresses, so
Yeah.
that was
It
very,
was-
very interesting. They
That
did
was,
a,
Pat and I discovered that a long time ago. And in fact, we told Barbara about it, and they took the kids there. So you cannot make a reservation, and the line is a block. Now blocks in New York are different. The east-west blocks are short, and the east-west are real long, and the north-south are real short blocks.
Yeah, yeah.
and what they told us, that they had 80 waiters and waitresses, and they had to replace 20 of them this last year because 20 of them made it to Broadway. And that's why they're there. That's why they're singing. And
They get up above. They have a kind of little stage there. They walk down between the tables, and they get to sing and do. They had one of my favorites from Phantom, a duet there.
which was so perfect because Tad's attended Phantom 24 times. And as we're getting ready to leave, they sang a song from Phantom, so that was perfect.
Yeah,
And we didn't even ask that,
Yeah.
yeah.
and they did that.
Okay. The plane ride was all right. We're talking about the train ride back. I had a little something in Iowa. Okay, so what else did you?
Well, on Sunday we went to New York Yankee ball game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I'm sitting there in the second or third inning, and Jane's sitting next to me, and she said, "Oh look," I look up there, and on the big jumbo screen it has Yankees welcome Tad Phelps.
Yep.
My first thought was, is there a Tad Phelps? Tad Phelps in New York, But Beth Van Roken had taken care of getting it up there, and I really, my 30 seconds to fame is being on. How many were there that day? They said 47,000 or something like 43,000.
Yes, it was
So I
it
thought,
was a lot.
wow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've got to find this other guy whose name is Tad Phelps. So.
And we got a picture of that.
That was fun.
That was
Did you
fun.
like Yankee Stadium? Did you like that experience?
yeah.
Very much so, and I like where we sat.
It was a
Kind of
gorgeous
behind-
day for the ball game, even
What?
though the Yankees lost.
Yeah. That was the Yankees had a chance in the last of the eighth to win it. They just didn't know.
And Tad teaches continually, so he's telling us about, okay, the
positions.
why they shifted this way, they shifted that way.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what's going to happen now, and it was really great.
Yeah,
Really great. We could really be with the ball game too. However, the people were wonderful too, and we had to stand in line a long time there, and just delightful. We just had delightful people everywhere.
yeah.
It was
Fun
Very-
experience, you guys. You need to go.
But if you ask me to go, you have to push a wheelchair. But we're going to try to figure out why that is occurring. Okay, so Yankee Stadium, the subway ride there and back.
Coney Island.
Yeah.
We went to
Oh,
Coney
we
Island
made Coney
right
Island
after
dinner. Yeah, okay.
we had dinner, and then it was late, but we got it to Coney Island.
Dinner in Chinatown. Beautiful.
Chinatown.
Yeah.
Great
We wanted
dinner.
to go to Chinatown because, you see them on the movies all the time. The bad guys are shooting through Chinatown in New York. So we thought, we have to go there. So if you see it in the movies again.
And a
our
fantastic meal.
was wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Coney
All our
Island.
food was wonderful.
No one rode the Cyclone. Some of
At
us
Coney
did,
Island.
Some of us did ride the giant wheel, the big
Yeah,
wheel.
like you.
Yeah, and some of them I talked into going down and wading in the ocean.
Yeah,
Deb did
like
that.
me.
But we got pictures of Tad on the what's it
Wonder
called?
Wheel.
The big wheel.
The big wheel and the wild side or something
Yeah,
under a sign.
right.
And
Well,
so-
swingers, the swingers.
Swingers,
swing.
the swingers. Yeah, the swingers. So
Yeah.
he and Beth and Sue Susan got on that, and Deb and I took pictures.
The big wheel has two different. They have seats that don't move, and then they have the swingers that, as it goes around, they go in and out. That's a little bit of experience, and you can see the thing from it. You get to the top of the big wheel, you can see Manhattan. You can see the buildings in Manhattan there.
Right.
And it's
Of course, that's where the Nathan Hot Dog eating
Nathan,
contest is. So
we went in there.
yeah, so we had to have a Nathan Hot Dog while we were in New York,
Yeah, and we had a pretzel.
and we had a pretzel, had some peanuts,
New York cheesecake.
Yeah.
and New York pizza.
Yeah.
Remember that first pizza that first
Yeah.
night? And he got a Supreme, and we don't know what was not on that
Yeah.
pizza.
I mean, usually you get a beef on, and it's a hamburger. These were slices of beef on there. I mean, it was packed, and the price wasn't too much either. I don't think.
No. Of course, we all like to eat, so it was really good.
Did you ever feel threatened? Did you
Never.
hear that?
Never.
Never.
Actually,
That was my
never.
thought before we even went on, because you hear about all these shootings and stuff, mostly in Chicago. But nothing the whole trip. It was secure, safe, friendly people in New York. Friendly.
Did you hit about everything?
Yeah, I think all the right people were there at the right time when we were there.
Yeah.
All our friends must
Well,
have been.
we went to the 9/11 memorial on.
Oh yeah, the 9/11 memorial. We were going to try to make it to the tribute. We started because we found out the E train wasn't running, and so we had to do a different thing.
Another adaptation
And of
that
course-
Tad did.
As usually happens, the station, we were going to stop on the 50th, and we went right through 50th.
It
up
didn't
to
stop. It's like,
58.
another plan.
Yeah. Well, we just turned around and went back.
Go downtown, and it, yeah.
That 911 memorial was very sobering. Very
Moving.
sobering. Just
It's overwhelming,
just,
really.
Just
Yeah.
brought tears to my eyes
Yeah.
to think that that happened to us.
So, well,
Yeah.
all right, well, we had a great. Oh, the train ride back was. Did you enjoy the train ride? I mean,
New York to Chicago was gorgeous.
Mhm.
And, I mean, the parks you pass, the greenery, the nice homes along the Hudson.
Yeah,
It was gorgeous. And then we had a meal on that train.
had a
And
real good.
slept on that train to Chicago.
And like Deb said, the sights were so wonderful there. We could sit and we're looking out our train windows. It was a first time experience for Deb and I both.
Yeah.
So we're the, like juniors here. And anyway, we're on the New York side, looking across the Hudson River at the Palisade side, over at New Jersey. And of course, we didn't know what we were looking at, but then Tad would tell us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, oh, how great.
I think they got kind of tired of me talking all the
Oh,
time.
no, we
No.
learned so much. And something that we learned right there when we'd stay at the brownstone house where we stayed for 5 nights, Tad would be going over the map, and so I'm looking at the map, and so I didn't realize there are 5 boroughs in New York. So I learned about that.
We were in
Queens
4 of
and
them. We didn't
Bronx
make it to
and-
Staten Island, but we saw
Yeah,
it.
We saw the ferry to it.
Yeah.
It's free,
Yeah.
Ferry's
the
free to
ferry's
Staten
free.
Island.
Yeah.
But we didn't take it.
Yeah.
And then out of Chicago, that's where and it wasn't a difficult thing, just a little late. The trains going real slow, and the railroads are the track owned by freight trains. Amtrak serves at the pleasure of the freight trains. We'd be going slow and say there's a freight train in front of us. You go on the siding and let the freights go through. I mean, that's the way it is, and it's kind of a bad deal because you're the second citizen there to the freight companies. And then in Iowa, we got the announcement.
Yes, we got the announcement there's water over the tracks. So we had to wait
For
And
them to be
wait,
inspected.
and wait.
Yeah.
And they got inspected, which is okay. So the announcer was kind of clever. He'd get on, he said, okay, the railroad inspector's been there. He's now removing his ruler. He's removing whatever. Now he's removing himself. We're going to be able to go. They give us an okay to go, but we have to go slow. Have to go very slow over that. But what I noticed, Tad, did either of you notice this? He said, no, we're going to have to go slow. Zoom!
No, I didn't really notice that.
I
Yeah.
was like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
cat-
he was trying to make light of it. Yeah, at least. But,
The New York, obviously, and Chicago depots much busier. I mean, they're a 24-hour thing. Kansas City, it wasn't much. We went up on the freight elevator, I think.
at least it wasn't crowded.
Yeah, no, it wasn't
What,
crowded.
What
at
a beautiful,
1:30 did we
beautiful
get in?
station there. Though,
Oh yeah,
at
that's
New York. I mean,
went
at
through there
Kansas
many
City.
times
Wow.
as a kid.
Wow.
Yeah.
Through that station, and they've refurbished that there. So, yeah, they hit just about everything. I think.
We did go to the show Chicago on Monday evening, and it's an older theater, and it's not quite as handicap accessible, and the seats are closer together. It was a beautiful theater, but what I've learned about that, if I don't have a particular show I want to go to the next time I go back, I'm probably going to look for those more modern
Right,
Check out
sure.
the
modern
theater.
theaters, so there's more room, especially for us tall kids.
I did.
It was okay, though.
I didn't make beautiful this time because I wasn't feeling well. But when we were in January, they took us to the spatial entrance and all this, and then,
Was it at the same theater?
yeah, same theater.
Yeah, because that
Yeah.
elevator was humongous.
Sure, yeah.
And since we had your ticket, they looked at our ticket, so we must have gave Frank and
Sure.
Scott went and sat at a little different section, but your ticket must have been with us. They go, oh, we'll come this way. So we went up the elevator and sat in that
Yeah.
section where you would have been.
So
So it was wonderful.
it's so.
Pretty fun.
And I think again the people are great, and partly because I was in a wheelchair, but they'd always.
And I really think Tad thought, he'd be well taken care of because he's got the nurse practitioner and a nurse. And my sister runs a couple nursing homes, so she's got a lot of hands-on with people, and there's Deb. So anyway, so this is what happened to him one night. We didn't even know it. So he slept in his own room and had a little twin bed, and he told us in the morning, he said, did you guys hear me last night? Because we're there to, help him if he needs anything. None of us heard him. What happened, Tad? Well, I rode my mattress to the floor.
I don't know what happened, and I ended up on the floor, the mattress there with me. I don't know.
And he said, I just knew the girls would be in to help me get up. Nobody came.
Nobody knew that.
So we had to instruct him, please yell if you need us.
Yeah, well, in this apartment we had, it's valued. It's real deep, but real narrow. Probably not much wider than this room, a little bit, but it goes deep and high. They third story, no bathroom on the first floor. I don't know what the deal is, but can you imagine? Valued at $1.4 million. Valued. If you're going to sell it, $1.4 million, and there were just millions, thousands, hundreds of thousands of those kinds of apartments in New York. Oh, we did take the trips. Sunday morning, the tour we forgot with Frank.
Yes.
With
Frank.
Frank. Uh-huh.
Frank's from the Brooklyn area, so he gave us a private tour.
Well, he's an actor.
Yes, he is an actor.
Gave us the inside scoop about acting in the commercials.
He was in a couple commercials, and
Yeah.
he had to do a sneeze in one commercial, and he says, guess what that sneeze was worth? And we go, how much? He goes, that was a $60,000 sneeze.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And he's. I enjoyed it because parts of Brooklyn I'd never seen,
Yeah.
and up on, of course, Brooklyn Heights is a beautiful view. And my wife and I were 3 weeks before 9/11. I've got some great pictures of the Twin Towers and everything from there, so I recognized some of that. But it was. Yeah, I really enjoyed the tour there.
Yeah, he told us stuff about Brooklyn that,
Mm-hmm.
just when you live there, And he took us to the concourse where gorgeous view of New York and a little bit of the history there. And
Yeah, it was great.
it was a
It was-
great.
And it was so neat to hear Tad to be able to answer, or not answer, well, he could answer questions, but he'd even ask him questions and make
Yeah.
that guy think too, so that was good.
Yeah.
So we learned
It was-
all the time. He's teaching all the time.
Okay,
Tad
well,
is.
all right. We made it back and got back yesterday afternoon, and you talked to your sister yet? Are they recovering?
They're doing okay. Of course, they were, we saw them in high gear when we
Yeah,
left
right,
yesterday.
yeah.
so
Yeah.
they're-
Yeah.
And Beth couldn't make it. She said we were going to try to have her on there too, but she couldn't make. Maybe she's watching right now. It was a great. I'll say it. Everyone said, "How did your harem go?" It did fine. It was well.
It was a
Everything-
great adventure.
He got
we were
teased
on
quite
time.
a bit. He said when they'd hear us girls talking and laughing, and they would look at Tad. Somebody said, "Tad, no wonder you're in a wheelchair hanging out.
Yeah.
We had a great time, and as you know, I like New York.
Yeah, I wouldn't think you should go to New York without Tad.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anything else? I'm glad you had a good time. We talked about this for several years, I think, because we were back there one time with the kids, and we got to spend some time together. It was snowy, if I remember that morning. We were going to walk down to St. Patrick's, so we decided because of the snow we didn't. But it was the first time you go to New York, it's good to go with a tour because you get comfortable. That's what happened to me in '84. I went back with Barbara Dennis, and I thank the Dennis family and the Thomason family. They opened up a whole new world for me, anyway. And some kids like it back there, some do, some don't. That's your own personal thing. Some adults like it, some don't. Some people say, I wouldn't be caught dead in New York, but at least try it once. You
Yeah,
know.
and I mean, what they had now that they didn't have back in
Sure.
2005 were the barricades, like in front of St.
Yeah.
Patrick's, those big granite blocks.
Yeah.
So
We saw a lot of those.
there
didn't
was
we?
a lot of barricades.
The blocks.
So that kind of adds to the security.
And you made it to Macy's.
That's what floored me, because I just thought it was a regular Macy's like you see, but when you get in there, it's 9 floors, and you can't even see, because it's the length of the New York block the long way, and you couldn't even see the other end, and then you told me the Macy's parade was on the other block that we weren't on, but humongous, right? And they've got stuff that the other Macy's stores does not carry.
So we shopped both at the New York Macy's and the Chicago Macy's, and so we had a several-hour layover in Chicago, and my sister really she likes to shop at Macy's, so we asked the people there, how far is it? 15 blocks. You need to take the bus. You need to take the bus 15 blocks. I kept saying that. Finally, Deb, Susan, and I said, we're going to go.
We'll do it.
And we did a power walk. And we got to see a lot of Chicago
Yeah.
that way. And Chicago is a little bit cleaner than New York, but the Macy's store was wonderful. And we did power
Madison Square
walk.
Garden, right at the Garden.
Yeah. Yeah, in New York.
And
Yeah.
I would recommend if you have any kind of luggage, I'll get a red cap.
Yeah, because in New York, they really took care of us. I was amazed and how friendly they were. Not so much in Chicago.
And what the red cap was, because I didn't know, a red cap? We're going to all wear a red cap? No, the red cap is actually a person that helps take care of you, connected with the Amtrak. And so they helped with our
And they
luggage.
load your luggage, and you go by the long lines, they take you right to the train. So, no, I would recommend red caps.
Yeah, red
Yeah.
cap was,
No.
we
It
had some
costs, you
great
have to tip.
experiences.
You know, that's all unreported income, and you figure each time we about maybe $30, $40 it goes to, but it's worth it. And our attendance from New York to Chicago was great. The Midwestern, not really as much.
Yeah, the
probably.
people weren't. They weren't as friendly or as the New Yorkers were.
Sure.
In Chicago, they
Sure,
weren't.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the other thing too is we Ubered it from the airport to the Brownstone and from the Brownstone to Penn Station, and those Uber drivers were. It was interesting talking to them, and
What an awesome way to travel.
yeah.
Sure.
Uber. That was a very positive experience.
You find out about it, try to find out about New York and everything.
Yeah.
And your sister came with the idea. We all had Metro cards that let us ride unlimited for a week, and when we on the way there back to the train station. Well, we gave him those Metro cards, and he said he never rides the subway. He said doesn't ride the subway at all, but he says he's going to take his kids on the subway now because they had all those
Yeah, those
tickets.
cards.
You know.
Yeah,
That's
yes, it
great.
is.
And
Yeah.
it was a good idea to do that. Anything else that you just really
Just thanks.
Yeah.
just satisfied?
Thank you for
Well,
escorting
hey.
us out there and giving us the inside scoop on a lot of stuff.
They, someone said before I left, said, "Are you going to take care of them?" I said, "Yeah, but they'll take care. They're going to take care of me," and you did. Great job there. They pushed me. How many? Did you ever total up the miles that we walked?
No, I was gonna look on my,
Well, that one day
check
we'll
that
see.
out on the internet
Okay,
on my
well,
watch, but, no.
We hope you haven't bored you this morning, but it's kind of neat to get the experience of what it's like to go to other places. They're already talking about going somewhere else.
Yes.
I said Mount Vesuvius. Is that a little too hot for you there? Anyway,
We'll have to study that.
there's a lot of things we didn't see in New York. We always go back to New York. You know?
Absolutely. We actually had a
Okay.
list of
All
things that
right.
we didn't do in New York, Tad. Did you know that?
Do what?
A list was made of things we didn't get done this time.
Okay.
But we did check off a lot, most of our list.
And you could spend a week in Brooklyn. You had the botanical gardens, you had the zoo,
The
you had
zoo.
the lake. You could go down to Barclays Center if there's a ball game.
Lot to do.
Spend
Can you
more
tell
time-
Tad likes New York?
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you, ladies. I thoroughly enjoyed. It'll be one of my memories of
Thank you.
New York.
It was a privilege.
And
Privilege.
Yeah.
Beth and Susan too. You know, it was just
Absolutely.
we had a great time.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming on this morning. See, that wasn't bad, was it?
Have I survived?
Thank you. Is Cammie out there? Okay, we're going to talk to Cammie Sider about the fundraiser tomorrow after this break.
Hi.
We're looking for insurance.
When insurance agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited.
Hi.
We're looking for insurance.
When insurance agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. The trusted voice independent agent is free to shop many companies for a deal, free to do what's right for you.
Let us shop for you. Contact Rogers & Associates to learn more.
Back we are on the Tadpoll, but we're going to remember Ron tomorrow, and we're going to talk with Cammie today about the special day you have every year. Thanks for coming on again. Kind of
You
short
bet.
notice.
Yeah, well, it all worked out good. So,
Sure, okay, fine. Well, let's talk about remembering Ron. So what's happening tomorrow?
well, what's happening is first off, we're going to have a poker run. Hopefully, the rain is going to stay away at least through that time.
Sure.
We're going to start out at the Sand Trap. Everybody can come down and eat a light lunch if they want to beforehand. We'll have T-shirts and raffle tickets and everything there to sell. And then they'll leave at 1. They're going to go the east way. They're going to go through like Smith Center and that area. And then they'll be back, come back out to the 4-H building, and that's where we'll have the meal, the silent auction, and, more raffle tickets. And then we're going to draw everything and end up this benefit. So
What time does the evening start?
the evening will start. We're going to start serving at 5, and I do believe we're going to go until it's gone or until people quit coming through. So, so we'll have plenty of food for everybody. Come on out. We're going to have some entertainment. We're going to have a DJ. You can come and go bid on the silent auction stuff. We've
Sure.
got so much of, even since I've been here the last time, we've gotten quite a few things
Really?
in. Yeah, we did.
Some things off the top of your head?
We got Roger Van Kooten. He made this train set, and it really
know it,
is.
yeah.
It really is just gorgeous. It'd be something great for a grandson. It'd be great for even a granddaughter. I mean, why does it have to be a little boy?
Well, I like trains, so you'd be good
Yeah,
for me.
it would
see.
be good for you too, Tad. We've got some Indian art that's come in. We've got like cinnamon rolls, pies, and beer rocks coming, and we just got a lot of stuff coming, a big variety. We've got the gas range.
Yeah, I know.
And we got the Bronco tickets, which,
Sure.
I hope that those go really well. I hope everything goes really well. We have a lot of neat stuff. We've got a little 22 pistol, and just
And what's great about this, about it, is the fact that people who have cancer get some monetary help. You help me.
Yep.
When I went to MD Anderson, and
Yep.
Is it word of mouth you hear someone has it, they're going, or how?
It's usually word of mouth, and it's just something that we hear it. And if we've got some money, we try to help them out. It's if we hear it, we try to get them a check. Sometimes we don't get it done in a timely fashion because life is busy, but we sure try to get it done. And all the proceeds, all the money goes to that. We donate everything, or people. I mean, we've been very blessed with everybody donating so much stuff this year with this silent auction. We really, really want that to be a success. We're really pushing for that. But I mean, the community has been very, very good to us, and we very much appreciate that.
Well, it's a great opportunity, and just so go out to Sand Trap early lunch, and then they'll go.
They'll leave on their bikes, and hopefully no rain and stuff. So, if you want to see what some of the silent auction stuff is out there, you can go to Farmers State Bank. They've got some things there, and you can purchase raffle tickets there. You can go to Blossoms and Butterflies, and they've got what they're donating to the silent auction. It's a mum arrangement.
Sure.
You can go to Golden Plains Credit Union, First National Bank. I hope I'm not leaving anybody out. Or you can contact any family member. Or if call us. Call me. I'll be glad to find you and get you some raffle tickets here. No, this is something that's pretty dear to us. Ron was pretty special today. It actually would have been his 56th birthday.
Really?
Yes. So, so this is kind of a special time for us. We try to remember Ron because he was a very giving person.
Through the years, how many of these have you held?
This is the 5th annual.
5th annual?
Uh-huh.
Okay. How many funds have you distributed? You got any idea?
Oh, I don't know. It's probably well over $12,000.
Wow.
And just in this last couple months, we've given out over 3,000.
Okay.
So, cancer affects everybody in this community. It seems like
Well,
one way or another.
And the fact that I didn't. All of a sudden, I hear that you want to help the trip down, stay in a motel, eating, gas.
Yeah.
It helps.
Those are things that your medical insurance is not going to help you
Sure.
with. But those are things that you have to pay for. We know that. We've been down that road with Ron.
Sure.
So, and it's we'd like to be able to give more, but we give as much as we can.
Sure.
So it's a good cause. It's a good cause, and we're growing each year, and this is a new year with the silent auction. We're trying to come up with different things. So.
Well, it's great, and it's tomorrow. Sand Trap, and then on tomorrow evening. It sounds like you have a lot of things going on tomorrow night out there with the food.
Yeah, we're going to have the silent auction. We're going to draw for the raffles. We got 5 great gifts for that. The Traeger grill, the rifle, the 2 25-pound packages of ground beef, and the Arctic cooler. So, we got a lot of nice stuff.
I'm going to change the subject. I've been out of town. How's this volleyball team doing?
Actually, they had their first loss last night to Minden. But, those girls, they're playing really tough. They really are. They're 5-1 right now.
Okay.
And then we go to Hayes on Tuesday, and we meet up with Smith Center again. So that's always a good match,
Yeah, okay, sure.
So they're doing really well.
And who do the Panthers are playing football tonight?
They play Plainville.
Okay.
They're number 1 seeded in 1A, aren't they?
I've been completely out. I have no
I think
idea.
yeah, so it's going to be a good game tonight. You might get a little wet, but
Okay,
I think it's
okay.
going to be a good
All right,
game.
all
So,
right.
and everybody wear your T-shirts,
One last question.
Uh-huh.
When are you going to go to New York?
When life slows down. I don't know. I would love to do that.
Hey, we had such a great time. Just the way it went and everything.
Yeah. Well,
But,
that's good. I know the ladies were smiling when they went out the door here. So,
we had a good.
yeah.
It was fun.
Jane said it was a 12 out of a 10.
Okay. Well, we'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, sounds
Okay,
good
so,
then.
I mean, not afternoon, but tomorrow night.
That's great. Everybody come on out, and if you aren't interested in the silent auctions and stuff. Come on out and eat a meal. It's just a free will donation, and it goes to a good cause.
How long will you be serving?
Probably as long as the food
As long
lasts.
as the food lasts,
Yeah.
or people come? Well,
Yeah, or people come.
obviously not.
We're gonna have sloppy joes, pork butt roast,
Okay.
and we're gonna have some hot dogs too.
Okay,
So,
wow.
so everybody come on out. You know,
Cammie, thank you for
You
coming
bet.
on. It's great. It's a great program.
it
It's-
is.
you
It
get to
is.
find
Yeah,
out.
it is.
Cammie started with us this morning about remembering Ron. Do I have a break? Okay, so that's it? All right, I guess
Okay.
that's going to do it
Okay,
for the.
we wrapped
We'll be
it up
back
then.
next week on a Thursday morning. Hopefully, I'll be able to hear by then. And tomorrow we will start our sports talk next door here at the bakery, and we have JB said he was going to be out of town, but he's going to have a coach there, some players, and the cross country coach is going to be out of town. Tara, I think they have a junior varsity. She's not going to
Yeah,
be
they've
there.
got a junior varsity
Not
tournament at
available.
Smith Center.
Yep, okay. And I didn't get a chance to talk to Darna, but I'm sure there's somewhere for the tennis. But we'll catch them all. We'll get other area schools too. But so we started tomorrow. We're sorry we didn't get a chance last week, but I was in New York and
Yeah.
it's kind of a little hard to do it by phone that day. So it's okay. We'll see you again tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock at the bakery, and next Thursday morning right here at our studios right next to the bakery at 9 o'clock. Thanks for joining us.